and we're recording. Hello, welcome. My name is Bryce. Today with me is Sherice Rivas. I'm super excited to be able to share her story with you guys because she's a corporate claims manager at Superior Construction. She's also a certified life coach who specializes in leadership and career coaching. Thanks so much, Sherice. I appreciate your time today.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for interviewing.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add to that introduction? Because I know that, there's a lot of things that can be said about you, but I can only say a couple sentences.
Sure. Just wanted to mention that in addition to my focus of leadership and career coaching, that comes from a background mixed in with sales, mixed in with supervisor, manager experience, as well as a master's degree in leadership and negotiation and training experience. And all that kind of goes together in being an effective life coach. My undergrad is in psychology. So just kind of one of the things that I like to emphasize when I'm talking to different people about what I do currently, how all these things kind of connect to each other, is that the skills are intertwined and they're transferable among many different things. So once you have a certain set of skills, you can kind of take it anywhere you go.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you bring that to the table. It's going to really help in our discussion today. So, what was life like before you got into coaching, and what caused you to make the jump into this field?
So life before coaching, I've always wanted to be in the helping profession of psychology and counseling. But I was, as a young mother, 24 years old, I was married and I was really into the current career that I had, working in insurance actually. And so it was kind of a debate on, am I going to go back to school and, pursue the rest, or am I going to stay here and do this because right now my career is thriving? But once, I had my son, I said, okay, it's a good time to go back to school, finish up my bachelor's degree in psychology. And then I realized that as I was choosing a master's program, I was at a crossroads, and I said, am I going to move into, going for the master's in psychology as well, or am I going to broaden some of my skill set so that I can then help young professionals? And as an African-American woman, having moved from Virginia all the way to Florida, I definitely saw an opportunity to be able to not only provide coaching to people, but to also provide coaching that helps them prepare for the workforce and have a better leg up. Because for me, I've had situations where I'm blessed to meet people that want to help me, that can see through what I might be lacking and push me to get there and guide me. And then I've had, worked for people who didn't do that. They wanted you to have it all when you came in. And so I decided then, let's do a focus in leadership and negotiation. And let's see how we can help other women of color, other people of color, to be able to now get into the workforce with those skills that they already may need.
So can I ask you this question? So what is the main problem that they come to you for?
The main problem they come to me for? So it's actually very mixed with my clients. But I would say the biggest thing is figuring out how they can do what it is that they want to do. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times people come to me and they feel like there's this void and there's this hole, and they don't know how to get to where they're trying to get to. They don't feel like they're already, they have those skills, like they're already able to do it. So one of the things that we do is we break down exactly what they're looking to do, and then how they may actually already be practicing that skill in their current day-to-day life. So kind of giving them a new perspective on what they're already doing. And then from there, growing that until it then moves and becomes, based on their effort and their work, what it is that picture that they wanted it to be, or shifting it and realizing that, oh, maybe that wasn't the direction. And that of course all comes from the client. They are the ones who choose whether to shift or not, but just showing them that you actually have a lot of what you need. Here's how we're going to fine tune it. Here's how you're already using it. And then, let's see it from there, moving it into the direction that it's going to be in. And it's just, of course, always knowing that you're a work in progress. Keep learning.
Okay. Can I ask you a quick question? So for the people who are watching, let's say that, they're in corporate America and they want to get a higher paying job or a new promotion, but they kind of don't know exactly what I guess for lack of better words, their hidden skill sets. So can you give some kind of either example or tip that they can do to start being more aware of what they have?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that they can do if they're in a place where they're just not sure is reaching out to people that they work with and asking them, hey, what are the top 5 things that you think I can do? Or just maybe leave it more open ended and ask them, what do you think are some of my strengths? What do you think are some of my opportunities? And go beyond just your regular boss, go and talk to your coworkers and your peers. Talk to people that know you in your personal life as well. So that you can kind of start to get an idea of what people are saying about you, what people think about you, and trusted people. And then from there, go through and list those out, find the similarities, and then also think of some of the skills that maybe you want to acquire, some of those opportunities that you had, and how you can start to look for opportunities to work on that as well.
Okay. This is probably a weird, well, there's probably a lot of answers to it. Where do you think is the, right now, if people are used to, doing everything in person, what is one of the best ways for them to try and find a new place to work so that when the virus is over, they can, get back to normal life if they've been furloughed?
So finding a place to work right now while they're in the remote environment.
Or being able to have that job lined up for after this is over.
Yeah, I would definitely say, making sure that you have a thorough resume, and kind of trying to understanding that each time that you are applying for another job, your resume may have to change. So, I've heard some people say it, and I know it to be true for myself. Searching for a job is a full-time job, but the effort is worth it. So making sure that the jobs that you're looking for, that your resume is lined up with that. And then again, just, there's so much information out there online. If there's a skill set that you want to fine tune while we're in the situation, because there's a job that you're looking for, a type of job that you're looking for, taking the time to go online, look at those resources, review them, take courses if you can that are available online, and just kind of setting yourself up in a better position to not only get in the door with your resume, but then to also be able to feel competent and be competent when you get in the interview.
Let me ask you this interesting question. So now that a lot of people have had a taste of working remotely, do you think that the majority of the industries are going to provide an option for people to work at home once it's over, or do you think everybody's going to be like, come back to work as fast as possible, come inside, and we need you back inside the building?
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a mix. I think that some of us are, you know, have maybe looked at the situation and said, wow, the company saved money by being remote. Our production didn't go down by being remote. People, in fact, were more productive. And then others may say, yes, we might have those factors, but it's just kind of going back to the status quo where we were. Mm-hmm. So I don't necessarily know what majority of companies will do right now, but I definitely do hope that a lot of companies take a look at what production looked like, what costs look like, general overhead costs, and things of that nature, to see if, hey, maybe this is something that we can do. And then you also have to think about dynamics as well. For example, for me, I work in the construction industry. So corporate employees, we had the opportunity to work remote because we're all in the same setting, but we have to think about how that might feel to our employees that are working out in the field. Mm-hmm. Project managers and our laborers and carpenters and people of that nature. So you also have to think about that too as you're making those decisions depending on what industry you're in.
And then here's an even bigger thing that I thought about. Do you think that for the companies that decide to go remote, do you think there's going to be an increased amount of competition from people outside of the country as a result of that?
I definitely think so. Because this creates, and I think for companies, it creates an opportunity for globalization, mm-hmm. Being able to now not only choose from people that are in their local area, but people that are in other states, other countries. So I think a lot of companies are going to shift. And if they haven't really been able to explore diversity and inclusion, and then also how technology affects that, now they have an opportunity to do that, to develop their leaders to be able to lead in a virtual setting as well. So I think you're going to see, if you haven't already, companies growing and changing as a result of this. And then just think about the fact a crisis like this, an unprecedented situation like this, can change things for a company overnight the way that COVID-19 did. And so how companies are ready to prepare for that, and if should that happen again in the future.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Especially like when you talk about like globalization, because can you, so since I think you're an expert in this, does globalization make the workers and the employees stronger, or does it make it, does it better for them, or does it hurt them?
So I think that really depends on the leader and the setup that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I think that just like working in an office setting, if you don't have strong leadership, if you don't have a strong sense of inclusion, then you may not be successful in that office setting, and you may find that employee morale is down. I think globalization has the potential to work very well because of the work-life balance, because you're getting perspectives from people that aren't there with you. You're getting perspectives out of what you normally know, which is absolutely an important thing to have in a business, I think, because it just makes you better at negotiating, better at reaching your people. But at the same time, if you don't take the time to develop for that challenge, then you can find yourself not very successful in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's interesting. So, what is, just kind of switching gears, what is the vision for your life?
So the vision for my life is, ultimately, I'm driven by a desire to help people. And with that being said, my goal overall is, I'm currently in the corporate setting. So the biggest way that I could help my organization is to better develop risk management for them, so that they're able to prevent things on all fronts, because the beauty about risk management is that it touches just about every department you have, if not every department. And then as far as my personal / professional life and my coaching life, I want to be able to grow my business in a way that people are able to come to me and then not need me anymore. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting, but one of the things I tell my clients is, essentially, I'm here to put myself out of business. Mm-hmm. I want to be able to help you and transfer skills that I may have to you, help you to grow skills that you already have. And then from there, I want you to be able to take those and transfer them to others. So being able to just pass that along to other people.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. So what is success to you?
To me, success is multifaceted. I think that it all comes from that internal feeling that you have. Are you happy? Do you feel like you've done what you've set out to do? I don't think, for me, my view of success is not in comparison to anyone else's. It's based on what I've stated that I wanted to do in my life, and whether or not I've been able to meet that or exceed that, or go learn something new and go in a direction that ended up being better for me. But all in all, it's how you feel when you go to sleep at night.
Okay, cool. Are you working on any special projects at the moment, like a program, course, future conference, books?
So right now, the only thing that I'm working on is I am going to be speaking at a conference in Chicago. It's going to be involving risk management and how cultivating a safety culture can mitigate labor risk.
Oh, nice. That's going to be cool. Do you have a date for when that's supposed to be coming out, or?
Yes, it's going to be taking place in this fall in September, but we have had to move it to a virtual setting. So.
Okay, cool. How can people learn more about you, and where can they go to connect with you?
Absolutely. My LinkedIn is the best place to connect with me.
Okay. For those who don't know what your LinkedIn is, can you either spell your name, or can you?
Absolutely. So the name is Sherice Rivas. That's spelled Sherice. Last name Rivas, R-I-V as in Victor, A-S.
Nice. All right, cool. Thanks so much for doing this interview. I really appreciate your time, and really enjoyed being able to connect with you today.
Thank you so much.
Nice. And for those watching, hopefully you enjoyed watching this content as much as we enjoyed creating it. Feel free to hit that share button so other people can get some great value as well. Also, if you're looking to join a community of individuals who are improving themselves and helping others to do the same, I recommend you go and check out the link either above or below the video to our free community. It's basically a mastermind of people who are constantly trying to improve ourselves. And when you join like-minded people, you tend to improve as well. So if that is something you're interested in, go ahead and click the links either above or below the video. Cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Thanks once more to Sherice. And we're done recording in 3 and 2 and 1.